Hello guys, I am back with another episode. There is a message that I want to share with you guys. The message reads like this. Hello, how are you? I am a 35-year-old man. I grew up with my grandmother from my mother's side. My grandmother have 5 kids and one of them is my mother. So all of them, I mean the 5 of them, they are all mentally unstable. Yes, the first 2 and the last, they are the worst. Then the middle 2, you can only realize after talking to them that these ones also, they are mentally unstable. Growing up as grandchildren, our friends used to say that our grandmother is so scary, but whenever our friends would say to us, your grandmother is so scary, we didn't know what they meant about that because we didn't see it as they saw our grandmother. We just saw our grandmother as our mother. Since our grandmother, she was the one who was taking good care of us. But now that we have grown up, we can see that our grandmother, there is something scary about her. So meeting some of our friends, they used to point out some unusual things that were happening in our family. Growing up, we were told not to go to church, not to visit any prophets. Our grandmother used to say that in church, they only preach lies and nothing else. Our grandmother used to say, you see these prophets, she meant the white garment prophets. She said that if you go to those white garment prophets, they are only going to lie to you. And when they prophesy to you, they won't give you true prophecies. They will just give you false prophecies. And if you keep on going to these white garment prophets, they will only cause conflicts and division in the family. So I don't want you to go to these white garment prophets because they will lie and they will break up this family. We should just pray. She encouraged us to pray and in the house, and she would say things like, we can only go to church, but it was the church of her choice. Now that we are all grown up, we have wives and things are not going well for us. We are experiencing different problems. Like for me, as an example, I am experiencing continuous bad luck. People hate me for no reason. Growing up, I used to urinate and I urinated in bed until I finished my high school. I never got the solution to urinating in bed, even if I tried not to urinate in bed. But in the morning when I would wake up, I would just see that I have urinated. And when I had finished high school, it was more embarrassing because I was now all grown up, but still I'll just wake up in the morning and I would have urinated in bed. And the other thing that was happening to me, I kept on having wet dreams, and the wet dreams were so serious. It was as if I had just slept with a woman. Before this happens, what usually happens is that it will be as if I am dreaming or fantasizing. So when I wake up, I'll see that there will be semen all over me. I mean, like my underwear will be wet as if I have just finished having intercourse with a woman. I'll wake up tired, feeling so tired and feeling that definitely something was happening here, as if I was having a strong woman with me in bed. I just wake up and I wash myself. So I have been keeping this secret for my wife because I am afraid that if I tell my wife that at night there is someone who visits me in bed, if I tell my wife that I have a spiritual wife, maybe she is going to divorce me, and I don't want my wife to divorce me. These things started happening to me from high school. At first, when I had these wet dreams, I just said to myself, since I am still growing up and like now I am a teenager, that is why I am having these wet dreams. But now that I am all grown up and I am living with a woman in the house, is it possible that each and every night. Even if I have sexual intercourse with my wife, still I will have these wet dreams. Is it normal? Now I can see that there is someone who is using me. Yes, I can agree that I have a spiritual partner, because each and every night I can feel the presence of that spiritual partner visiting me whilst I am in bed, and in my dreams I can actually see myself having sexual intercourse with this spiritual partner of mine. Now that I am grown up, I have visited some of these white garment prophets. So all of these prophets that I come across, they just tell me one and the same thing. They say to me that this thing that is happening to me, there is a Tokoloshe. I was given a Tokoloshe as a wife. This Tokoloshe is a female, and she is so jealousy. That is why she visits me each and every night. At first, when I was given this prophecy, I just said to myself, these guys, they are just lying to me. Like my grandmother had said, if you go to these white garment prophets, they are only going to lie to you. So I believed everything that my grandmother had told us whilst we were growing up. I just said to myself, these prophets are lying to me. But when I went back to those white garment prophets, they told me the names of my forefathers, and they were correct when they told me the names of my forefathers that did this to us as grandchildren. These things runs in the family. We are a family that has been keeping these Tokoloshes for many generations. It is hard to believe these prophets, because we were told that if you believe in these prophets as a family, you are going to get divided. And I don't want you, my children, to hate each other. Even up to now, with everything that is happening in my life, still when I visit these prophets, yes, I can see that they are telling me the truth. But deep down, because I grew up being told by my grandmother never to trust anyone except for my grandmother, that is why I find it hard to trust these prophets. And another thing, I don't believe that our grandmother could do this to us, because she was like a mother to us. She used to take good care of us. That is why I find it so hard that my own grandmother could dedicate my life to this Tokoloshe, so that this Tokoloshe can become my spiritual wife. It is so hard for me to believe it, even though I am encountering all of these spiritual attacks. But I still find it very hard to believe that my grandmother can be this evil. She used to take us to school, buying us clothes, even foods. She is like our mother. Like I said, there is a lot of things that are happening in our family. Like our mothers are not mentally stable. That is why they cannot take good care of us. It's difficult to believe a stranger. Now the problem is that a lot of prophets are saying the same thing, the exact same thing. I am so confused. Some of these prophets, they've tried to give me remedies to help me, but nothing is working. I keep on having these sexual dreams, and I want them to stop. I once went to visit a traditional healer. When I came back from consulting that healer, the only thing that I noticed was that this Tokoloshe was not visiting me each and every time like it used to before I had gone to consult with this traditional healer. Now this Tokoloshe, yes, it still visits me and it demands sexual intercourse from me, but it is not doing it like each and every day. At first, this thing would sleep with me each and every day. Now it sleeps with me maybe 2 times a week, but I want it to stop. So far, nothing has changed. I have used a lot of herbs, but nothing is changing. I need help, Brother Nashi. Maybe I might be saved, because I was told that these Tokoloshes, they are being trained on me. Whenever a Tokoloshe is born, they train that Tokoloshe on me so that it can have experience on a human being, how to have sexual intercourse with a human being. I was told that the witches in our area, they use me as a training ground. Whenever they create a brand new Tokoloshe, they bring that Tokoloshe to me at night. Then they will train that Tokoloshe on me, telling it what to do. so that when they go with that Tokoloshe on the job, it can know what to do with a human being. Please help me, my brother Nashi, because I am tired. I am so tired. And I am scared that if I die before I fix this mess, maybe these Tokoloshes are going to attack my children. I don't want my children to go through the same thing that I am going through right now. Dear listeners, right there was a message that I received as a WhatsApp voice note from one of our listeners. Then I had to ask one of our admins to give us a translation. The most painful part was when this brother of ours said, the witches in our area, they use me as a training ground. Whenever they create a Tokoloshe, at night they bring that Tokoloshe to me. Then they train that Tokoloshe on my body so that it can have experience. After it gains experience, then they can send that Tokoloshe to harm other people. Such a sad story, such a sad story. Let us meet again in the following episodes.